Hey guys, welcome back to part 2. Alright, my opponent Terian has gotten tired of being bombarded by slingshot and arrow fire, so he's gonna make a move for my sacred band who are arrayed opposite his battle line. So this is gonna be a phalanx battle as his men march up against mine and we begin slugging it out against one another. So my sacred band are fully upgraded and his guys don't stand any chance against my sacred band, but my men are slightly depleted, so fortunately for me, the phalanx pikemen don't last too long and they've already lost their general, so they collapse after a few seconds of fighting. And my opponent, Terian, he's gonna try and sneak his cataphracts around, and at this point he reveals his trump card, 2 more hidden cataphracts, and they appear behind my line, and I start panicking at this point, and I'm just scattering all my troops in every random direction before his cataphracts, and this actually works to my advantage because his cataphracts become concerned by the exposed flank effect, and one of his units of cataphracts routes immediately, and the other unit of cataphracts, they're going after one of my Numidian Jav Cav, which is on skirmish mode, but another Numidian Jav Cav, they go in a melee of these guys, and his guys who aren't paying attention actually get chopped up quite nicely by my Jav Cav, which worked out pretty well for me in the end. So you can see my Numidian Cav doing a real number on these cataphracts, which suits me just fine. Although my other unit of Jav Cav got caught and they got slaughtered, and it's pretty chaotic right now. I'm trying to pull back my front line while I deal with this cataphract problem in my rear, and this is a little micro mistake on my part. My sacred band Cav, they're just strolling along, getting hacked to pieces, and at this point I can't really afford to be losing any Cav because I have so few Cav left to begin with. So anyway, I finally rout these guys, and I'm pretty angry with them, so I'm gonna hunt them down with my surviving Numidian Cav. I'm not gonna let any of these guys escape. I'm gonna hunt them down one by one to the ends of the earth and find out where they live and blackmail them with their families with their decapitated heads. Yeah, that's really... Yeah, so you can see my Numidian Jav Cav just running down the last of these like snails. And HostileSword lost a unit of urbans to some pikemen, but he's gonna overwhelm these guys with sheer weight of numbers and a downhill charge and javelin, so these guys rout upon contact with HostileSword's guys. Yeah, so HostileSword, he's continuing to pepper Terian's left flank with flaming arrows, and I'm consolidating what's left, and I'm marching on Terian, who's making a defiant last stand in the face of my army. He really has nowhere to go. There's HostileSword on the hill on one side and my pikes on the other side, so he chooses to go against my pikes, which didn't really fare too well for him. So my sacred band are gonna go to work on his guys again and chop them up in a little itty bitty pieces again. So this is a bit of a phalanx battle. He launches a flanking strike on my sacred band and absolutely messes up my formation. Fortunately, my sacred band Cav were able to respond quickly and rout his cataphracts, and his phalanx pikemen are collapsing on all fronts, and his army's in total disarray and they're routing all over the place right now, but they have nowhere to run because HostileSword has occupied the hill and he's gonna make sure very few of them actually escape. So my sacred band Cav are moving out to hunt them down, and I'm launching my slingers out on my flanks. Some of them get caught on the pikes, which is a micro mistake on my part. I was hoping that the phalanx pikemen will rout quickly enough, and some of my slingers, they actually rout this unit of phalanx pikemen, which is really fortunate for me, and my slingers are just gonna run down these guys and hack them to bits. So these guys are trying to run away from my slingers and my Cav, but look where they run right into HostileSword's troops, so there's no... corner campers will be slaughtered without mercy, so let that be a lesson to any of you guys who decide to corner camp in a 6-player free-for-all. That's the fate you guys deserve if you decide to do so. So anyway, at this point in time, HostileSword says, okay, now we're at war, while my troops are in complete disarray and I'm at the bottom of the hill. But fortunately, HostileSword has used up a lot of his missile fire, and I think some of his archer units still have a bit of ammo left, and he's occupied the hill. Yeah, he does let me reassemble my troops without shooting me in the back, which is really kind of him. He has a YouTube channel, so go check it out anyway. Yeah, this is who is that? Keno being an absolute vulture, running down that poor phalanx pikeman. he's just been doing that for an entire game, just pestering me, being a thorn in my side. So I'm gonna march up the hill on HostileSword now. We were friends, although now we're enemies, so he has the last remaining army, so this battle would kind of decide the victor on this map, so I think. You'll see. Anyway, I'm returning a slingshot fire, and HostileSword, he's moving 3 of his urban cohorts to my right flank, his left, to go on a flanking mission around my troops, but I'm not going to let him do that. Yeah, so his slingers are taking a lot of missile fire right now and getting kind of decimated. I'm going to charge my right flank 3 units of Sacred Band and get these guys before they can get into formation. My phalanx charge them. Out of my rightmost unit that is sorely depleted is in a bit of trouble right now. They're being overwhelmed. So I'm going to try and get my Sacred Band cav to help out their foot companions. And HostileSword launches his Praetorian cav into the mix as well. We're both trying to outflank each other faster than the other one can. Fortunately, I managed to get around faster, and HostileSword's urbans are collapsing on all fronts. He did manage to launch a cavalry strike against my Sacred Band cav and into the rears of my hoplites, but I was able to turn my spears around to face them, and I start hacking down his horses. So his horses are out there, and without any support, his infantry are gonna follow quickly, but they won't be able to get away in time before my cav run them down. On my left flank, this unit of Sacred Band there getting surrounded, and my Sacred Band cav rushing in the rescue, although I sort of delivered a weak charge. So instead of going around for another cavalry strike, I just launched all my nearby infantry, slingers included, and I overwhelm these urbans by sheer weight of numbers, and they get frightened by the numbers effect and flee before the might of my mighty slingers. So that's HostileSword. His general is off in the distance, leading by example, and his troops are trying to follow this heroic example of running away before the might of Carthage. Haha. And this is Terian, who has managed to regroup some cataphracts and some militia cav, and they're just waiting. So at this point in time, it was 5, no, not 5, what am I saying? It was like 3 AM back home, and I was really tired, and we decided all to meet in the center to decide the final outcome of this game, because I was sick and tired of hunting down my opponents one by one. And that's Keno, who is still being an absolute pain, nagging me from every angle, from every side when I'm not looking. And here he almost gets my general, and that would have ended in disaster if he killed my general. So yeah, he probably could have taken on all my cav at that point, but he was being really, he was out to make my life miserable. So here, my Sacred Band have their backs turned, and he's gonna launch a rear strike, and he kills quite a good number of hoplites here. So yeah, I try to mob him with my slingers to try and bog them down, and they get an experience chevron and spit in my face as they run off. So yeah, and my troops are getting scattered all over the place here. And while we're supposed to meet in the center for like a final showdown, Terian takes opportunity of my distraction, and so does HostileSword, and they go for my exposed slingers. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, so this game was just full of like backstabs and like treachery all around. Yeah, so my slingers are getting like massacred, and I'm trying to defend everything and not defending anything at the same time. So my slingers are getting hacked to bits by all the cav, and my Sacred Band hoplites are just too slow and sluggish to really respond. So there's more slingers getting killed, and trying to retreat behind the safety of my Sacred Band. And I don't have enough cav to respond to my opponents, so I can only react to the attacks now, because I have a lot more infantry than I do have cav. Fortunately, I was able to kill Keno's general, and I pumped my fist in triumph as that happened. About time he got what was coming to him. So HostileSword, he's trying to kill off my slingers, so is everyone else. And here Terian launches a massive strike against my slingers of his cataphracts, mowing over like dozens of slingers and routing several units in the process. And yeah, all of my opponents are just chucking their troops into the mix to take out my slingers, which isn't very nice of them, to be honest. And I'm trying to get my Sacred Band to the rescue, and I finally chased them off, although due to another micromanagement error, fighting 3 opponents separately is not easy. 2 of my Sacred Band cav go up against an entire company of cataphracts, so we're gonna see how long these guys can last against these cataphracts. Yeah, so they're just putting up stiff resistance. My slingers are rattling slingshots off the cataphracts and taking a good number of cataphracts down. So with the loss of my entire cav force, we're gonna see what happens to the rest of my army in part 3, so stay tuned.